as I was saying, Joy Taylor, every dog has its day. And since I'm a big dog, I've got 2 days. Okay. So now.
You just called yourself a dog?
Yeah, I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm a big dog, a big one.
Kevin Durant is 6'11", who can pull up from 40. Okay. This brother is on that level. I'm talking about offensively.
Do you think you're better than Jarrell Revis is right now?
I'm better than you.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Lowdown Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Brown, as always, and I just wanted to say thanks for clicking the link, whether you're streaming it on whatever platform it is. Thank you. I appreciate it. And speaking of that, I got some news. So, starting off, the podcast is now on iHeartRadio. It's on Google Podcasts. It's on Deezer. It's on plenty of different platforms. I just couldn't do it without you guys, and I'm just enjoying every bit of this journey. And I'm already over 60 episodes in. This is episode 62 to be exact, and I'm going to keep going. And for the 100th episode, we're going to have a special. But hey, that's, 38 episodes from now. Hey, I did the math in my head, right? I'm not even a math person. But anyway, so this episode is going to be NBA based because I'm recording this at 2 a.m. on a early Thursday morning. And we just saw some crazy thriller matchups this past night. And so I'm going to be covering the recap of the Mavericks and Pelicans game because that was on ESPN. And what a showdown between Zion Williamson and Luka Doncic. And it wasn't just those guys. They weren't even the leading scorers. I'll get to that in a second. And then I'm going to talk about some other news. Basically, Steph Curry making his debut back in the NBA after missing roughly 4 months due to injury. And I'm also going to be previewing Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James. Giannis admiring LeBron, as a matter of fact, because these guys are going to be throwing it down, as a matter of fact, on Friday night. So I'm going to talk about that as well. But, first off, before I cover the Mavs and the Pelicans, I just want to say this. My favorite team, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder, got another win tonight. Tonight. 114-107 over Detroit. And it was close because Oklahoma City blew a lead. They nearly tied it up towards the end of the fourth quarter. And next thing you know, Oklahoma City was able to, chime in, work together, and able to, close it out by a 7-point difference between the final score. And the biggest takeaway from that game is Oklahoma City shot 61% from the field, and they only scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. So that tells you something. Oklahoma City's been a comeback team pretty much all season. These guys have really stepped it up. Like, they've really turned the heads. Like, nobody, not even me, really nobody expected these guys to be where they're at this moment. Like, to see these guys actually be in the top 8 is just mind-blowing. And, like I said in the previous episodes, when I talked to the Oklahoma beat writer, Joe Musato, and even Travis Singleton, these guys, ESPN predicted them to have like a 99.9% chance of making the playoffs, and it sure looks like a done deal. They are currently sitting at the 6th seed, and it's really close with Dallas, because Dallas is 38-25, because they're coming off a win with the Pelicans, which I'm going to cover in a second, like I said earlier. Both these guys are 6-4 in the past 10 games, and they're on a 1-game streak. It's pretty close between, like I was talking about, it's pretty close between the 4th seed all the way to the 8th seed. Not the 8th seed, 4th seed through the 7th seed. So between Houston, Utah, Oklahoma City, and Dallas, you're going to expect to see a bunch of switching spots, like between slots. Like right now, Houston's the 4th seed, Utah's the 5th seed, Oklahoma City's the 6th seed, Dallas is the 7th seed. So expect these guys to be playing hot potato with each of these spots through the remainder of the season. And this is when the season, see, this is the thing. If you haven't been watching basketball, if you're an NBA fan and you haven't been watching basketball, now is the time to tune in, because this is when it gets really interesting, because it is almost springtime, and that means that the playoffs is just a little bit over a month away from now. So now is the time to make some bets. Well, not necessarily, but if you're confident enough, go ahead. Now's the time to pay attention to who the top player is, because pretty much, like I said, we predicted this. I predicted this earlier in the earlier podcast episodes that it's pretty much wide open, right? I mean, it's pretty much wide open. I mean, there was a bunch of trades that happened during the summer. Probably the craziest trade season I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, that might be a little bit too far of a stretch, but I don't recall seeing anything that mind-blowing after just seeing all these guys get traded from team to team. It's just insane. And then, I mean, even the recent trade deadline, which is like just a few weeks ago, that was also incredible, but nowhere near as intense as the summer. I don't think anything was going to top that for a while. So remember summer 2019, because whatever happens in the playoffs is because of summer 2019. So, like I said, Oklahoma City really, really, really turned heads. Nobody expected these guys to even be within the top 10. And look where they're at. I expected Oklahoma City to be in the same position as Phoenix, which is in the bottom. Like, it's them, Minnesota, and Golden State have the worst records in the West. I thought Oklahoma City was going to have one of the worst records. But, hey, Chris Paul decided to stay for the season. I don't expect him staying another season. But, hey, depending on how they do, Oklahoma City has a bright future ahead of them. So there's enough of that. Now, moving on to the game of the night, which was the Dallas Mavericks and the New Orleans Pelicans. You know why? Because that game went into overtime. Both Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. That's another thing. I noticed after watching the Mavericks throughout the majority of this season, you didn't really see much of Kristaps and Luka playing together. These guys were coming in and out of injury just about all season. And Luka, I thought, this is the thing. This is maybe in the second or third quarter. I noticed when I was watching the game, I noticed Luka looked like he re-injured himself. Looked like he hurt his thumb, like his hand again, or it's either his thumb or his finger. He was holding on to it after he went for a rebound, and it looked like Brandon Ingram kind of slammed down on him, and then it looked like he was hurting a little bit, but hey, that didn't stop him from dropping 30 points. That's another thing. So if you look at the box score, these guys were shooting lights out. Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson scored at least 20 points or more, and then Luka and Kristaps, Luka Doncic 30 points. Kristaps 34 points. Seen both, and then both those guys logged in at least 40 minutes. And that's another thing. It's all about conditioning, right? At least 40 minutes. So that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see out of these guys. You want to see well-conditioned players. Zion Williamson being just a rookie, playing like he is at the high intensity. Think about it. If you're getting compared to LeBron James as a rookie, to LeBron's rookie season, that means you're doing something right. So we're going to be talking about that. Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about that for a while, about Zion Williamson. So remember the name Zion Williamson. You know why? Because this guy's the future. He's not just the future. So is Luka Doncic. So is Trae Young. So is Ja Morant. I can go on all day about that. So we are witnessing greatness. For example, like they're going to be handing the torch. LeBron and all those guys that are playing, that like LeBron, Chris Paul, anybody that's above 30 that's still playing, like Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kevin Durant, all those guys, they're going to be handing the torch to these guys I just mentioned just a few seconds ago. And they are already taking advantage of the opportunities they're getting. And I just can't wait to see these guys grow. Hopefully they stay healthy, and hopefully these guys have great careers. Hopefully they stay out of trouble, which I highly do believe. And it's just going to be a sight to see. But again, Pelicans and Mavericks, see, this is the thing. I nearly thought I nearly thought the Mavericks were going to blow it, because it looked like they were, especially when they were in overtime. They were up by 3, and next thing you know, they forced an overtime. Luka really stepped it up in overtime. This guy was making Drew Holiday look just ridiculous, man. Luka, just the way he's been playing, there's Luka magic for a reason. Like early in the first quarter, this guy dropped a step back 3 in Zion's face. You guys knew. Like you said, you guys knew it was going to be a showdown. They've been previewing this game for like the past week or so, and they delivered. It delivered. New Orleans played. They didn't go out. They didn't go down without a fight, forcing overtime. It was just great to see that. And going off this game, some fun facts is the Mavericks set a franchise record with 11 blocks in the first half. So just seeing that shows you that these guys were playing very well defensively. And the last time Dallas actually had had blocks in the double digits was back in 2005, as a matter of fact, against Philadelphia. So it's been 15 years since these guys have played that well defensively when it comes to blocks. I just want to I like throwing fun facts in when it comes to basketball, because I feel like it's just really intriguing to me. So once again, Mavericks win 127-123. And next thing you know, these guys are just really a half a game behind, or really a game behind Oklahoma City Thunder. So those guys are really, really close when it comes to 6 and 7 seed. It's probably going to be like that for the rest of the season. And Houston's coming off a loss to the Knicks. Pretty funny, but no need to get into that. But actually, you know what? I might as well just say something real quick about that. And everybody knew about the Spike Lee news, how he went on First Take saying that he claimed that he's not going to watch any more Knicks games for the rest of the season, which is crazy. This guy's been going to Knicks games for over a decade, probably more than 2 decades. This guy probably might be the most important Knicks since Patrick Ewing. That might sound blasphemous, like some Stephen A. Smith would say, but hey, that's the way I see it. Spike Lee's been even though he's not really on the team, he's been really like an important figure, probably the biggest fan. And just to see that he decided to give up for the rest of the season and going games really tells you something. But no need for me to cover that all the way. I just thought it was insane just seeing what happened. And at the same time, as for the Rockets goes, I said this right when Russell Westbrook got traded back in July, and I'm going to say it again. He's the best player on the team. If you guys want to argue with me, feel free to DM me or tweet at me or whatever you guys want to do. if you're hearing this right now, if you made it this far in this episode and you heard that take I just said, it's true. I mean, if you want to argue with me, go ahead. It's Russell Westbrook has been producing this whole time. He's the Energizer Bunny. He never gets tired. He plays at 110% from the start to finish. I never seen him slack. I never seen him give up. I mean, this dates back to the 2012 NBA Finals against the Miami Heat. When Kevin Durant and James Harden started to choke, what did Russell Westbrook do? He still tried. I mean, he still jacked up a few shots here and there, but he was still getting rebounds, grabbing boards, going up for layups, attacking the basket. He was not scared to play at a high intensity, even though these guys were down by a couple of games in the series and ended up losing 4-1. That shows you the character Russell Westbrook has. He's willing to play until the end, no matter what the score is. So, again, as far as the Rockets go, it's like Russell Westbrook will determine how far the Rockets go, not James Harden. End of story. So, next topic. I want to talk about Steph Curry. So, Steph Curry made his debut tonight. I mean, it's been, roughly 4 months since the last time he played. And it looks like the Warriors, he's actually, as a matter of fact, he didn't play tonight. He's playing, today's Thursday, so it's 2 a.m. I'm a little out of it right now because I'm recording late at night. But because I have a lot of stuff to take care of, meaning that I won't have time to upload an episode at a later time. So I'm doing it right now for you guys. So bear with me now. So he's going to be rejoining the Warriors actually tonight because I'm dropping this today on a Thursday. So again, been over 4 months. I mean, he's missed 58 games because like I said, he missed about 4 months while recovering from a broken left hand. That's what it was. So he suffered an injury back on October 30th. It was against the Phoenix Suns. And I mean, he went under 2 different surgeries. If I recall, it was one in November and there was one in December. And it was a long recovery for him. He had to play with the G League team, which is the Santa Cruz Warriors. Got some scrimmage time, according to Steve Kerr. He wanted to make sure that Steph Curry was ready to go. There was rumors saying that this past Sunday he was supposed to play against the Washington Wizards, but it got pushed back because, Steve Kerr wanted him to get some more 5-on-5 scrimmage time, and it just looked like Steph Curry. Now, I mean, it's proof that he's ready. I mean, Steve Kerr is a great coach. He's an awesome coach. He led these guys to 5 straight visits to the NBA Finals in the previous, since 2019, really. So, the previous 5 games before that, they were in the Finals. And I wanted to say something about that real quick. So, apparently, according to Steve Kerr, both Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were most likely emotionally drained from those 5 straight visits. And, they had a lot of time off, due to injury. And these guys, I mean, Klay Thompson's not coming back this year. He tore his ACL in game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Warriors. But either way, he's out for the whole season. Not coming back. But these guys saying that they enjoyed their mental break from the game for a little bit, from all these final visits. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, what makes this so significant, is the fact that Steve Kerr brought up LeBron James. He brought up LeBron James, you know why? Because he made 8 straight visits to the finals. 8 straight visits. And do you see him slowing down? No. Not as a matter of fact, no, not at all. This guy, LeBron, is playing at a high intensity at 35 years old. This guy is special, arguably the greatest athlete in my generation out of all sports leagues and teams. I feel like LeBron is the greatest natural talented athlete that I've seen. I mean, Usain Bolt's another one, but that's a whole different story. That guy, I mean, it's not many that can do what those guys do. It's not many that can do what LeBron. It's going to be extremely difficult to find another LeBron. I feel like he's a generational talent, and it sure shows. And the fact that Steve Kerr was saying how impressive that is really shows something about his character. I mean, there's a lot of LeBron haters out there, but it's like that for any big-time player. Really anybody that's like within the top 10 on the list. There's going to be a bunch of guys that despise that player. I mean, I don't know why. There's plenty of, if you want to bring up stats, if you want to bring up games where they had flaws, everybody has flaws. Like I've mentioned in the other episodes, nobody's perfect, okay? And LeBron is not perfect, but he plays dang near perfect. I'll tell you that. So props to LeBron, Steve Kerr, and I'm pretty sure every coach in the NBA, just about everybody in the world is impressed by your greatness. So there you go, LeBron. But at the same time, I feel like there is a bright future for the Warriors because once Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are healthy, hey, that's the Splash Bros, man. That was nothing new. And Draymond Green, I mean, these guys work together pretty well. And with the addition of Andrew Wiggins, I don't know. We'll see because Andrew Wiggins was technically not a team player, according to Jimmy Butler when he was playing for Minnesota and to Karl Anthony Towns. These guys didn't really mess with each other like that. But we'll see. I mean, Andrew Wiggins can be I say a decent addition because due to the departure of D'Angelo Russell, Andrew Wiggins probably could fulfill that spot and, possibly make the team better. We'll see. Too early to tell, but Andrew Wiggins, I'm not going to downgrade that guy. I still think he's a great player. I still think he's up there. But there's a lot of disagreements with that, but we'll see. We'll see. And honestly, when Steph Curry was playing before he got injured, during those he averaged like 20 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. So then at this point, it's actually pretty good that he came back because all he needs is 8 more 3-pointers to become the third player in NBA history to reach 2,500. So he'll be joining Ray Allen and Reggie Miller. He's right there. All he needs is 8 more. I feel like he can do it. It's pretty easy. He could probably make that in one game, honestly. Once he's like fully healthy, once he's ready to go, once he's back in the groove of things, because he might be a little rusty coming out. But I really think he can drop 8 threes in a short amount of time within a week or so. That might be a hot take, but I really think so. Steph Curry is arguably one of the greatest 3-point shooters I've ever seen. Well, really anybody's ever seen. So it's not really arguably. He is one of the greatest to shoot threes. I mean, if you're joining Ray Allen and Reggie Miller for the most threes in history, that tells you something about him. So Steph Curry is up there with those guys. He's automatically going to be a Hall of Famer once he's retired. And it's just great to see that. I feel like that's another thing. The ratings this year, especially at the start of the season, weren't that great because, I think it's because of Steph Curry missing. I think it's because of Kevin Durant being out. Same with Klay Thompson. The Warriors are not the top dogs anymore. But you would think after all these trades that it would be more interesting because to see LeBron and AD on the same team, to see Russell Westbrook back with James Harden in Houston, and to see Chris Paul putting on a show in a young Thunder team where nobody expected them to even be within the top 8. I mean, and then to see the Dallas Mavericks start to resurrect themselves, become another playoff contending team. I mean, you would think these ratings would go up. And the way that Trae Young has been contributing, one of the greatest players out there, one of the greatest young players, I don't know. It's probably because, like I said, it's due to those injuries. I really think the ratings are going to skyrocket once the playoffs start, obviously. But, it should, now that it's March, maybe after March Madness, like Future back in 2015, maybe it'll start to increase the ratings because I was shocked on how the ratings were low. But we'll see. We'll definitely see about that. I really do believe that the NBA can really do something with it. And plus, I mean, you had Kobe's death over a month ago. That brought the NBA together. That really brought the world together. And to see the farewell that happened on February 24th was just very emotional. I mean, if you're a true NBA fan, if you watched Kobe Bryant play, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have watched Kobe Bryant play. I mean, whoever hasn't heard of Kobe Bryant, you automatically live in the box. The box just like Roddy Ricch. But anyway, I feel like the ratings are going to definitely increase. At the same time, it's just a wait and see situation. The ratings this year are actually a little bit lower than they were last year around this time, which is absurd in my opinion. But we'll find out. And that leads me to this last point. So I like to preview the Bucks and the Lakers, which is going to be on Friday night. You know why? Because Giannis Antetokounmpo said he was inspired by LeBron's elite ability. Again, LeBron James is 35 years old, and Giannis said LeBron paved the way for all the young players. That's what he said. I agree with it. Just about anybody in the NBA can agree with these young guys saying that LeBron paved the way. I mean, he's still a top 3 player in the league this year. That's for sure. He's still a top 3 player. And the way he's been playing, let's tell you something. This guy's a freak of nature. He's not real. Like I said, I just mentioned that earlier. Like, he's the greatest raw, talented athlete I've ever seen out of any sport. And the way that he's playing at 35, Giannis even mentioned it himself. He hopes to stay healthy. He hopes to play at a high level. I mean, he got another decade or so to make it to that age. And you would think, because most players would think they would be retired by 35, but that's not Giannis's mission. He plans on becoming another all-time great. And to see them play against the Lakers, a lot of people are probably going to be assuming, a lot of you guys are going to assume that this might be, a finals preview? But again, it's too early, it's too soon. Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks have the best NBA record right now. They are sitting at 53-9, but they only have, according to ESPN stats and information, they only have actually not stats and information, actually ESPN's Basketball Power Index, they have a 28% chance to win at least 70 games this season. So, but for now, they're going to be locked on the Lakers, or beating them, because the Lakers are 47-13, and they lead the Western Conference. So, again, it does look like a finals preview, but I don't know. Nobody knows. And this is going to be pretty important. I feel like this game is going to be like a turning point for both guys. Not guys, but both teams. Just, you already know they're going to be competing. I mean, the Bucks beat them. I mean, the last time these guys faced each other was on December 19th, and the Bucks won 111-104. But this game is going to be completely different. I feel like they're going to be playing harder because they want to win. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are going to be just coordinated with each other, leading the team. And this is another thing. According to Eric Bledsoe, he said that two of the best players, this is what he mentioned. He mentioned that they're going to be against you got two of the best players in the league right now, and I'm assuming he's referring to LeBron and Giannis. So two of the best players in the league clashing each other, and he also claimed that both teams have great supporting cast. He's right. They both do. You got Chris Middleton, and obviously Eric Bledsoe himself. And when you look at the Lakers, I mean, there's no need for me to list all the players. I mean, but you got AD, you got plenty of other guys on the team that have been contributing, like Danny Green when he was playing pretty well, shooting threes, and you had, I mean, the list just goes on. There's no need for me to start listing out players, but he's right about the great supporting cast. So I think this game is going to be very entertaining. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see Giannis, compete with LeBron. And the fact that LeBron's able to compete with these young guys really tells you a lot about his athleticism. I don't have to say it over and over and over again, but it's true. It was just a sight to see. But as far as the standing goes, I mean, the Bucks in the Eastern Conference are ahead by a long shot. They already clinched a playoff berth, for crying out loud. They're the only team to do it at this point. And you see how early it is? So they're the only team to do it. And they are 10 games ahead of the second seed. The Raptors are 43-18. So, wow. That's all I got to say. But as far as the East goes, I mean, it looks pretty wide open. I mean, the Celtics, the Heat, Pacers, and Pacers and 76ers, they're all pretty close. I mean, they're within like a 5-game deficit between the second and sixth seeds. But when it comes to the Nets and the Orlando Magic, they are way behind. These guys are 10 games behind Philadelphia. So Brooklyn and Orlando, chances are to make it to the playoffs because, like, the Wizards, they're not going to the playoffs. No, there's no way. So as far as the East goes, it's not wide open. I mean, their spots are already there. But as far as the playoffs goes, I feel like the Bucks are going to dominate. I don't think it's going to be close with anybody. I don't think anybody's going to really be able to handle the pressure they're going to be applying towards every team they face. So it might be an easy shot or an easy route to the finals for the Bucks. But as far as the West goes, I have no idea. But the Lakers seem determined. I mean, especially after Kobe Bryant's death, LeBron is going to be motivated. He even mentioned that he was going to do his greatest in honor of Kobe. So I really think the Lakers have a good shot, not only for that, but these guys, like I said, like Eric Bledsoe said, they have a great supporting cast, they have a great team. But the Clippers are going to give them a hard time. The Rockets are going to give them a hard time. Even teams like the Nuggets or maybe the Jazz. I mean, the West is more competitive as of now than the East, in my opinion. It's been like that for a while, and it looks like it's going to be staying that way, especially with LeBron being in the West. I mean, the East is like, he just basically handed the torch to Giannis, saying, hey, go ahead and take over the East for me. And that's what it sure shows. Well, not necessarily because Giannis didn't even make it to the NBA Finals last year. You can thank Kawhi Leonard for that. But, hey, he's with the West too. So, again, Giannis, this is your shot. If you blow it, then I don't know, brother. I don't know. But at the same time, Giannis is still a top-tier player. And it's pretty funny because I'm saying that, but James Harden doesn't agree. But that's a whole different story. I'm pretty sure you guys knew about Harden having that one-on-one interview with Rachel Nichols not too long ago, and he was claiming that he wished he was 7 feet tall. He was saying that if I was 17 feet tall, I wish I could be 7 feet tall and dunk. That doesn't require no skill or something like that. I mean, James Harden, we get how you're playing right now. You haven't been playing too well lately. Russell Westbrook is your leader. So why don't you stay in your lane and worry about yourself instead of somebody like Giannis Antetokounmpo? But at the same time, it's pretty funny seeing NBA player beefs. And I think this one's just quite entertaining. I mean, people were making like mock finals visits between Harden and Giannis, the battle of the two MVP guys. Pretty funny. But Harden, there's no way you win MVP this year. It might be LeBron. LeBron hasn't won MVP since, 2013? It could be possible. I mean, like I said, it's different this year. There's different standards, different teams, different players on different teams. I mean, the NBA is basically, it's a huge business. These guys are always getting traded. They're always looking for some more cap room, or they're always looking to, form another super team, which is really incredible. For the past decade, watching super teams play has been definitely entertaining. And a few years before, you obviously had the Celtics, which was a super team in the the late 2000s. So there's that. But again, this episode might have been all over the place, but hey, I told you, it's 2:30 a.m. right now. And I told you guys to bear with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed everything I said. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. I need to get some sleep. I got to get up early to go work out. So wish me luck, and I got work all day. So you guys probably don't care about that, but I just wanted to say it anyway. But again, I had a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again pretty soon on episode 63. So keep your ears open, and you guys make sure to wash your hands, take your vitamin C, and keep a distance from others around you because the coronavirus has been trending and looks like it's starting to spread a little bit faster than most have expected. So please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. We all want to make it in one piece, right? And once again, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.